It's the Orioles on Masson and a beautiful night here at Camden Yards in Baltimore for the beginning of the three-game set and the final homestand. It's the Orioles taking on the Red Sox. 6 left. That's all there are. And still up for grabs virtually everything in the American League as far as the postseason is concerned. The Yankees have the one-game lead over the Orioles. The Rays still within striking distance, 4 games out. But obviously for the Rays, if they're going to make it, it's got to be via the wild card. Baltimore in good position there. The fact they are number 1. The A's number 2, but the Angels and the Rays both have an opportunity. They are 2 games behind Oakland for that second spot. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. Great to have you with us tonight. Before we get started on the baseball stuff, Maverick, Luther, Wieters, welcome to this world. As Marie and Matt Wieters, the baby was born at 5:11 this morning. A new Orioles fan is ready to go, and so are the Orioles. Tonight they take on this Red Sox team. Will it be the reversal of what we saw last season? Last game of the year occurred on this date, and what a date it was in baseball. The Orioles against the Red Sox. Red Sox looked as though they had a chance to make it. The Rays 7 games out. The Red Sox, they were 7 out a year ago today, but a chance at the wild card. The Orioles, look at that, 29th. And then what happened? Well, they came in here to play that series against the Orioles, and in the final game, the Orioles came away with a comeback win. Andino, of course, delivering. The game-winning run would score. The Oriole fans would go wild. Tampa Bay would follow it up with a home run win off the bat of Longoria. The Red Sox were gone from the postseason. Believe it or not, that was 1 year ago today that all of that happened. Jim, one of the great days of Major League Baseball.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything synced up to seem within about 3 minutes. Orioles won extra innings. Theo Epstein is now in Chicago. Terry Francona is doing ESPN. The closer, Papelbon, is a free agent in Philadelphia. So we know what the Red Sox want to do. They want to do exactly what the Orioles did to them last year, winning 5 of the last 7. They're not at full strength, but they played them very tough last weekend. And tonight, of course, I'll take my chances with Tillman pitching.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Orioles, take your chances with the September they have put up. They have been outstanding. The numbers for the Orioles in September as good as any team going in the American League. First in batting average, home runs, extra base hits, and the 4th best ERA. Jim, that is an amazing month that the Orioles have had.
Well, it really is. And, you know, we've talked about it. We did it on the West Coast. This may be the best the Orioles are playing at any time this season. And what better way? Dan Duquette talks about you need to get into a routine. Buck Showalter, the skipper, talks about you have to play in the moment. I always thought it was a process. And this ball club, ever since they went out and got McLeod and Manny Machado, they're a better defensive club. We know they're going to hit home runs. McLeod gives them defense and speed, and all of a sudden the starting pitching, and we know how good the bullpen's been, one of the most consistent bullpens in baseball. So all of a sudden they can beat you in a number of ways. You couldn't say that 4 months ago. And
Jim, Chris Tillman has come on since making a start in July for the first time at the Major League level to be one of their best pitchers.
Really is. You know, when he's healthy, he had to miss about 2 weeks with nerve condition in his elbow. He throws hard. He can throw anywhere from 91 to 95. Great power, curveball, changeup. I mean, this is a guy that's won 7 out of his last 8 decisions. And the one question, never has beat the Red Sox. Not that he didn't pitched well last Sunday against the Red Sox. Let's see if he can win for the first time ever against the Sox.
The Orioles having one of their best seasons against Boston. They have put up very good numbers against the Red Sox. They are 3-3 in games that have been played here. Ironically, they won 7 of the 9 games that were played at Fenway Park against the Red Sox.
Well, to me, it all goes back to early May, where they threw out Marlon Byrd in the 16th inning to have Chris Davis come out and pitch 2 shutout innings. Adam Jones hits a home run off of Darnell McDonald, their center fielder, when you go that many innings. So it's just been one of those seasons, Gary.
It has been one of those seasons, and it's not done, because the final 6 games become so vital for every team in the American League. And for the Orioles, final 6 begins when we come back. lesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Overcast skies, but a very pleasant evening. Take a look at our train game time temperature at 77 degrees. Mostly cloudy, humidity up about 47%. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. And on this evening, kids went out for the national anthem. How about this cutie with her glove behind home plate, Taylor Teagarden? She stood right there between the umpires and the Orioles starting catcher, and she wants to stay. Do you need this to play? Do you need this ball? Let's take a look at the starting lineup of the Red Sox, brought to you by Dodge. Pasednik, Siriaco, Pedroia, Ross, Loney, Salta, Lamarquia, Lavarn Way. Daniel Nava gets the start in left field, and Iglesias, their rookie, will make the start at short. There you see the numbers that Nava has had against the Orioles this season. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com. Check out their powerful lineup.
Take a look at our ASSIA Intelligent Report. ASSIA, the Association for Global Security Professionals. Well, ace-like, we talked about how good Chris Tillman's been pitching. 7-1 in his last 11 starts. ERA a little over 3 runs a game, and then has trouble early, and then like a fine wine, ages well. The batting average goes down. 190 the second time through the order, and then the perfect combo. He has pitched well. They get him almost 6 runs a game, and it's pretty special when you're on a roll, and so are the guys that support you with the lumber.
Boy, would Chris Tillman like to keep on that roll right here tonight, as the first inning we've noted in all of his starts, the ones that really matter. He has given up more runs in the first inning than any other by a lot. 14 first inning runs have been scored against him out of the 34 total. So getting through this first really matters. We are ready to go. Is Pasednik, and we're underway. Pitch will be outside for a ball. Pasednik comes in with a 5-game hit streak, a .500 average against the Orioles this season with 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Trying to bunt his way on. It'll get by Tillman. Flaherty the play. Throws it away. Pasednik's on his way to second base. Throw down there by Reynolds, and he's in. It'll be a single and an error on Flaherty on the throw. And the Red Sox get it started with a runner at second base.
Yeah, this is a play of anticipation. So, again, a speedster. You talked about all those hits. Most of them line drives. This time bunts it by Tillman. That's a great offensive play. And then you have a guy that's not playing a lot of second base, but hitting well. And then the snap throw. I mean, you can see what speed does to the defense. Everybody hurrying because of Scott Pasednik's speed.
And the Orioles, 103rd error they have committed this season. Of course, they've had much better defensive play since the All-Star break. Let's see if this one's going to cost them. So Tillman will work with a runner at second. Manny Machado will come in on the cut of the grass at third. Pedro Siriaco, their third baseman, another speedster, will take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Well, you know how they ought to be playing it, and that is get him in or get him over. And we got Pedroia, who's red hot in the month of September, just waiting on deck, itching to drive in a run, make it easy for him. Hits the ball to the right side.
Siriaco's got 4 sacrifices on the year, and he can fly. He's also been one of their better hitters, putting up some good numbers, 13 doubles, couple of home runs, 19 RBIs, making his 33rd start of the season at third base. One of the players they're taking a look at for the future. There is the bunt. Only play is going to be at first. Tillman will field it and get it over there for the out. It's a sacrifice, though, moving Pasednik over to third base.
Take a look at Chris Tillman and how his season has gone as again, he came up in July out of AAA Norfolk. So the base on balls have gone down. Strikeouts have gone up a little bit. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the windup's a lot better, much more confident. And then again, they've been able to support him run-wise very well, almost 6 runs a game.
Now Pedroia gets the RBI chance. The Orioles will play back. Pedroia batting third, trying to hold up on that, did not. Home plate umpire making the call. Gonzalez has the plate tonight for this umpiring crew. Manny Gonzalez, Greg Gibson, Phil Cousy and Jerry Davis, the umpiring crew.
And you play back, Machado about a step back, so I guess ball hit sharply to him. He may come home if Posednik goes. But Pedroia tough to strike out.
That's going to get a run in. Jones got it. Here's the tag. Here's the throw up the line. And there's a manufactured run. And the Red Sox are on the board as Pedroia picks up his 8th RBI against the Orioles this year.
Yeah, again, this is textbook. Bobby Valentine, 4th most difficult guy to strike out in Dustin Pedroia, just about year in and year out. So you get him to 3rd, and the little guy gets him in. 1-0.
Pedroia picking up the RBI, is 64th of the year on the sacrifice fly. Pedroia has 5 sac flies now in the year. That'll clear the bases, 2 down. And here's Ross, 3-game hit streak. Cody Ross, he will foul that one back. Ross a 2 for 5 off Tillman. Only time he has faced him. Tillman, as Jim said, looking for that first win. 4 starts prior to this one against Boston. 0-1, a 4.24 earned run average against the Red Sox. The 0-1 delivery will be sliced right back as the first one was.
Yeah, back-to-back starts. He pitched to no decision as the Orioles lost 2-1 up in Fenway last Sunday. DeBron, who's going to pitch tomorrow, had one of those terrific games.
Tillman's got his lowest ground ball percentage of outs in his career this year. Only 44% of the outs he's recorded have been ground ball outs. So a lot of fly balls coming off Tillman, but that has not affected the ERA or the numbers.
And then when he throws home run, Gary, as you know, they're usually solos. It's a good habit to get into.
You like that,
especially when you're getting a lot of runs to work with.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Ross. And to short, Hardy will get the big hop. Waits and gets it there in time. So 1 run in on 1 hit. An error, probably be an unearned run, and nobody left on base. O's coming up. Before the Orioles get to the plate, took a look at the Orioles starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. McLeod, Hardy, Davis, Jones, Thome, Reynolds, Machado, Flaherty, and Teagarden. Manny Machado against the American League East. Really good numbers in this, his first year.
And our AFC Intelligent report, well, for Aaron Cook, 33-year-old right-hander, sink, or you might have to take a shower. I mean, he can sink them with the best of them. 6th best ground ball ratio. Orioles, again, have done a nice job against them this year. 13 in the 3rd innings, 20 hits, 17 runs, 13 of them earned, and then he's had all kinds of health issues. Healthy this year, even though the record might not tell you that.
Up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. And Nate McLeod, who loves going after that first pitch he sees, one of the reasons he's got 9 career leadoff homers, goes after that one, and the Orioles get 1 pitch, 1 hit.
And also the 31st base hit in the month of September.
So Cook immediately is going to have to go to the stretch where he has lots of problems. A lot of hits off Cook. Very high batting average against him. With runners on base, opponents are hitting .315 this year, which tells you out of the stretch he's got a problem getting the hitters out, but he certainly doesn't have any problem holding base runners.
What, 2 attempts all year?
Yeah. And one of the best career numbers of opponents not being able to steal against him among active pitchers. He's got a number of moves to first base, very, very quick, and a slide step he delivers to the plate. But we'll see. McLouth, of course, has some base stealing power as J.J. Hardy stands in. McLouth has picked up 10 out of 11 this year stealing bases.
Yeah, I think Buck Showalter is still remembering the last 4 innings when they hit 6 of their 7 home runs.
Hardy will take it inside for a ball. Hardy comes in with a 4-game hit streak.
So again, with one swing of the bat, you can regain the lead and maybe take the lead with a 2-run shot. So again, I don't think you're going to run this early in the ball game, not with the power in this lineup.
Hardy's got a 1 for 7 lifetime off Cook. Runner goes down to short, only plays at first, scooped up. Iglesias makes the throw, and McLouth takes second base, one away.
Yeah, we talked about again the 6 best ground ball to fly balls. This is how he does it. Mostly sinkers, almost 80%. Occasional slider. You can see the averages. But again, he doesn't throw a lot of home runs, 13 home runs on the season, and then very rarely, and you can see the averages, he'll mix in a curveball. But it's basically, if you're an Oriole hitter, you want him to bring the ball up, and he wants to throw strike one and throw the ball on the ground, especially after Wednesday when they hit 7 home runs.
Here is Chris Davis, part of the onslaught. Davis with a 6-game hit streak goes after that first pitch. And you may see a lot of that tonight with all the first pitch strikes thrown by Cook. Davis, you see at home this season, 19 home runs, leading the ball club in home runs hit here at Camden Yards, which is exactly what you would have wanted out of Davis when you first got him, and to have your bullpen make hat catches on his home run.
Well, he's pretty much done what I think they expected. They knew he was going to strike out. He really has been able to not to have that many peaks and valleys, but when he gets up on the top of the valley, he can really hurt you like he did the other night.
Runner at second base, and that will be inside with a slider. The other thing that Cook does, and why the Orioles may be up there swinging so early in the count, he does not throw many pitches in a game. He's tossed less than 100 pitches in 42 straight starts. Randy Neiman on the left, the pitching coach. Bobby Valentine, the manager, on the right. So when Cook's out there, you've got to be ready to swing because you're going to see a lot of strikes. Davis waiting, the 1-1 delivery to him in the air to right field. At his way back. Here we go again. Goodbye, home run. And the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Well, 6th home run of the month of September. And the batting average zooming with the home run total. Well over 300. There you go. Already have one Oriole who will be stepping to the plate with 30-plus home runs.
Chris Davis picks up his 2nd home run against the Red Sox this year. And 29 on the year, and just like that, the Orioles are back on top. RBI 78 and 79 as McLouth comes in ahead of him. Here's Adam Jones. Down low for a ball.
Well, this is a great park to hit, but watch this curveball. It just hovers. Kind of like the do not disturb sign, except he disturbs it in a hurry.
And a chopper to second base. Pedroia was moved over and will make the play.
Take a look at the Sox defense, and again, a lot of guys playing out of position because of injuries. Nava, Posednik, Ross, Sariaco, Iglesias, who's terrific shortstop, Gold Glove winner at second. James Loney comes over from the Dodgers, and then Ryan Lavarnway behind the plate.
Yeah, they changed the
I'm looking
catcher.
at my scorecard. He was supposed to be DHing.
Yep. They put Salta Lamacchia into the DH, and Lavarnway catching was not the way the lineup was posted earlier this afternoon. Chris Davis with a homer. Jim Thome at the plate. Thome will take it outside. Thome, of course, with the 1 for 7 in the homestand as he delivered a homer as part of the barrage of 7. 2-0 count. Not many off Cook. Davis didn't wait to start that. And that pitch is taken for a strike.
Yeah, the amazing thing about the Wednesday game is that Carlos Villanueva was actually, he was pitching well until that 5th inning. And it all of a sudden, it was like a mudslide of home runs. 3 home runs in the 5th.
One of the great lines out of that came from with Jim Stories, rather. Jim Thome, the oldest Oriole to hit a home run ever. That is down to third. There is no one within 100 miles. The opposite field base hit for Thome. The big shift was put on the other way, so he had the whole shortstop third base side to go through. You take a look at what the Orioles have done, especially home run wise against the Red Sox. Overall 10-5, 7-2 at Fenway where they hit 9. Here at Camden Yards, 3-3 against Boston, the .237 batting average, and they've had 10 home runs now that they've hit here. 19 homers against the Red Sox team this season. In this, the 16th game these teams have played.
Yeah, it's kind of, according to Hoyle, 10 home runs in 6 games in this ballpark. So what happens is you put the shift on, you play percentage baseball, and then you have a guy that 23 home runs on the season, but 9 in the month of September. And Mark Reynolds got back on the board after hitting most of those home runs in the first week of the month of September.
1-0 count, runner at first, Thome, and the pitch will be taken inside by Reynolds. Reynolds has a couple of home runs off Cook. He's gone 6 for 25 in his career, and 2 of the 6 hits have been via the long ball. And just for notation purposes, the Red Sox have had only 8 home runs against the Orioles. So the Orioles have out-homered Boston 19-8 this year. And the pitch will be taken outside. And Reynolds,
so you got a home run guy at the plate. You got a home run guy sitting on the bench now, 3 in the last 2 games. You have a guy waiting on deck that hit 2 home runs on Wednesday. And it'll be interesting to see if he swings away here.
I would think he would. 3-0 delivery on the way and didn't have to worry about it. So Cook surrenders the walk and the inning keeps going here. First and second for Manny Machado. So the Orioles have put 2 runs in, 3 hits, 2 singles, a homer, and now a walk. And LaVarnway out to have a word with Aaron Cook. One of the things that's been true for all of baseball history, and don't know why, the physics of it, but when you have a ground ball pitcher against a fly ball hitting team, the advantage goes to the hitters. And that's been historically true for some reason. I mean, there's been research done over a 100-year period on that. And that's the way it's worked out over the long term of baseball. Manny Machado, I've often thought it may be just the fact that you got fly ball hitters tend to uppercut the ball. Ground ball pitchers tend to keep it down. So you got fly ball hitters coming underneath pitches and driving them up. Our AT&T Mobility Trivia fact, Jim Thome, Manny Machado, 4 teammates, MLB history. Homer in the same game when one was at least 40 and the other was 20 or younger. That's what they did in that last game. Thome 42, Machado 20. They joined this other group, Sauer, Cepeda, Mays, and Spire, Griffey Jr. and Griffey Sr. The others of that ilk, 40 or over, 20 or younger, to have home runs in the same ball game. Not many in the great history of baseball. That is down low, and Cook will fall behind the count on Manny Machado, 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, again, Aaron Cook, he was a terrific pitcher, all kinds of injuries, but Colorado, perfect guy for out there. He's done his homework. He knows the type of hitter that Manny Machado is, and it's not only about the home runs, it's that Manny uses the whole field. And not too many young hitters do that. That's been the impressive thing about him, along with the glove.
2-1 delivery to him, and that's going to miss outside. And Cook falls behind 3-1 on Manny Machado.
Yeah, Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, and if you're Aaron Cook, you want that outside corner. Didn't get it. Nice little RBI numbers too.
Great number with runners in scoring position for anybody, much less a 20-year-old. That's going to go to the hole. That's going to be a base hit. Making the turn. Thome, they're going to hold him up. Yeah. And not much question about that. Jim with not the legs of the 20-year-old. And he got to third and came around, and DeMarlo Hale down the line had his hands up. So that'll load him up.
He runs like his age. There, a little sinker. And again, you're looking something middle of the plate, and right here. And they really were not holding him on. It's just, 42, back issues, hamstring issues. Doesn't want to get hurt. And again, it's not like Ryan Flaherty's not having a good September who's going to come to the plate. Wise decision is Randy Neiman's going to have come out and talk to a veteran pitcher and a second-year catcher, Seves, who started the year really in spring training as the potential starter and then their closer because of the injury to Andrew Bailey, already up in the bullpen.
And most believe has played himself out of Boston by his actions this year.
Well, he pouted.
Big time.
Yeah, did he ever. It really showed up as manager on a number of occasions. I was watching the other night, wouldn't hand him the ball. Bobby Valentine had to take it.
Flipped it to his catcher on another occasion.
Very disrespectful.
Yep.
And a talented guy, but more to it than just talent in this game.
Here's Ryan Flaherty. The Orioles have a 2-1 lead. This is the 8th batter to the plate in the first inning. Flaherty 1 for 1 off Cook in the series at Fenway. And the pitch is inside for a ball. We will keep an eye on the other important games tonight. The Yankees are underway against Toronto at Toronto. Kuroda and Jenkins. The Angels play the Rangers. What a big series that is. Weaver and Dempster going in that one. Weaver's after his 20th. And the Rays will be at Chicago against the White Sox. Hellickson and Gavin Floyd. 1-0 delivery, and Cook really struggling, and the count goes to 2-0.
Yeah, here you just really have to trust that somehow, and it's really hard to do in the first inning when you come out of that bullpen, that you can throw something down in the zone with movement. And Flaherty, a good hitter out over the plate with power.
And Flaherty takes it, and it's a strike on the inside corner. So the Orioles really trying to put this thing up with as many runs early as you can get. The Red Sox, a team that's down. We've already seen it. We saw it in the games at Fenway. If you can get them down early, they are a team ready for the season to be over. You get them down, you can keep them down. But don't open the door. 2-1. Way back right field. Ryan Flaherty. A grand slam home run. His 6th home run of the year, and a grand slam for Flaherty, and another button push, starting him at second base.
Now take a look. He works the count to 2-1. I mean, the 2-0 pitch he took was a great take, and then he gets a ball right down the middle. And this is a no doubt about it.
So coming off a 7-homer ball game and a day off, the Orioles have had 2 home runs in the first inning, accounting for all 6 runs. The last 18 runs the Orioles have scored have all been via the homer. And a strike on the inside corner. Think they're talking long ball?
Well, it's the irony is that Tomei goes the other way, hits one against the shift, something that Ted Williams would never do.
Ground ball up the middle. Cook falling down. Play made. Iglesias gets it over, and that will retire the side. But the Orioles batted around in the first inning. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 RBI homer by Davis, and a grand slam by Ryan Flaherty. By Luna. Call for the Luna double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. For Ryan Flaherty, who had not played in a major league game prior to this season, selected from the Chicago Cubs as a Rule 5 draft pick, where you got to keep him on the roster or you got to send him back. And the manager, Buck Showalter, was adamant in spring training and on, not going to send this guy back, and here he delivers.
Yeah, he can play all kinds of positions, outfield. And, again, last year, 19 home runs, AA, AAA. And again, another Dan Duquette off-season acquisition. I'll tell you what, it's probably easier on a team that only won 69 games to do it, but it's turned out to be golden. And he didn't play much in early September. All of a sudden, because Andino's hitting about 162, even though playing great defense at second base, he gets a chance to play, and he's delivered.
And the pitch will be taken away. Loney leads it off. Saltalamacchia, then Lavarnway due up for the Red Sox. James Loney against the Orioles, hitting 167. Got to face the Orioles in the series at Fenway after that deal, of course, was struck. And now, as Jim was talking about, here's Tillman with a 6-1 lead going to the second.
Well, that's the good news. Bad news is you got to win this game. So you need to pitch well.
McLeod coming over
to be able to do that. And as good as he's been, you're going to give him some leash if you're Buck Showalter. But you got to win some games. It's come down to 6 games, and you need to win as many as you can. And you got a whole bullpen to help you do it.
The magic number for the Orioles to make the postseason is 4, and that's as far as we're going. After that, it all gets very complicated. Pitch is taken down low, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Obviously chasing the Yankees. That's number 1 for the Orioles, is to try and catch them and take the division and stay out of that wild card game. Ball popped up in the air towards third. Machado's there, will put it away, and Loney is retired. Maryland Lottery strike and rich contestant of the game, Randy Schapper from Randallstown. Randy, you get $500 for being selected, another $100 for each strikeout the Orioles record during the game. For all the latest information on new games, current promotions, and second chance contests, visit mdlottery.com today. Jared Saltalamacchia, the designated hitter in the ball game rather than doing the catching as originally planned. Saltalamacchia with a 1-for-5 off Tillman, and the pitch will be taken away for a ball.
Yeah, from this side of the plate, having one of those great 23 home runs of his 24 hitting left-handed, over 50 RBIs.
That's been his MO this season. The average has not been there, 226. The home runs have been, hitting only 180 right-handed and 233 left-handed. But doing a good job with the power numbers for Saltalamacchia. Here's the 1-1 delivery by Tillman, and that'll be taken for a strike on the outside corner. Nice off-speed pitch.
Well, we saw Loney. He swung at a ball about eye-high, and the good curveball out of your hand, it looks like it's going to be high. And just imagine dropping off a table. And that's what a good curveball, and Chris Tillman has one. That's what it does. It rolls across that table. Of course, you don't see the spin. It comes out of your hand looking fastball, and then the bottom drops out.
Tillman making his 13th start. The Orioles are 9-4. This is 14th start. The Orioles are 9-4 in the games he started this year. Good number. And just fouled off the end of the bat. Taylor Teagarden doing the catching, of course. Matt Wieters not with the ball club with the birth of their child early this morning at 5:11. As Maverick came into the world. Mom and Dad both doing well. Wieters may return tomorrow. That's going to be up to him. Buck Showalter did not want him trying to get back for the ball game tonight. Just felt that not where he needed to be. Called third strike. Saltalamacchia is retired.
Yeah, take a look at this. 93, the most velocity Chris had. We're only in the second. Great target by Taylor Teagarden. Presents it, and then he just hits the highest velocity. Take a look at what's gone on since July 1st. A lot different look than they had early on. Gonzalez 8-4, pitched a big game on Wednesday night. Johnson out of nowhere. Tillman 8-2. Joe Saunders, maybe the record, but a low ERA, and even Zach Britton at 5-3. So I think that's about 26-14 between them.
The non-rotation rotation continues on. for the Orioles and doing amazingly well. Here's Ryan LaVarnway. LaVarnway slow ground to the third, handled by Machado. Plenty of time and gets here. So Tillman does exactly what you want to do. His team picked him up 6 runs. He comes back in that next third of an inning and retires him 1-2-3. Davis got one of them, Flaherty the other, have set a new mark for most home runs in a season at home since the Orioles came to Baltimore. 122 homers have been hit here at Camden Yards this season, the most ever by an Orioles team in their home park.
Yep, all those numbers with the exception of 1987 we're here, Camden Yards.
Yep.
87 in Memorial Stadium. That was a year I think the Orioles, they hit 209 home runs or something like that, but gave up 215. Wasn't a good year for the pitchers.
Nate McLouth will take the pitch inside as the Orioles go back to the top of the order against Aaron Cook here in the second inning. McLouth started it out with a single. He's now 6 for 15 against Boston with a couple of home runs. And he's going to lace that one foul into the seats. 2-1. Well, McLouth has been on a rampage this season when he gets a chance leading off. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, taking over in the leadoff spot for Nick Markakis, who was having such a great second half. And McLouth asked to fill a very big spot, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, and in regards to Nick, talking about maybe a couple of weeks away from getting those pins out. Shelby those went to the soft cast, so seems to be healing.
On schedule.
Yeah, and he said then of course you have to let the swelling go down. I mean, the pins I guess are, he said, like not safety pins, but the tops are big white things, and they go in to hold the bone so it'll heal properly. So everything seems to be on track there. And so how about Cook? In the first inning he threw a lot of grounders, but the 2 fly balls, one was a 2-run home run and one was a grand slam. So he got the ground ball. The fly balls did him in.
Now he gives up a leadoff walk, and McLouth is on again. He doesn't give up any walks. That's only 22 in this ball game, 20 in the year, in the 94 innings that he has worked. Obviously, he's not a strikeout pitcher. It's about getting ground balls and getting double plays. Here is Hardy, who grounded out his first time up. J.J. Hardy with nobody out, runner at first, will take the pitch inside for a ball. And of course, while all of this goes on, with all these pitches being thrown by Cook, he's just piling it up. That's 37.
Yeah, usually the saving grace for a sinker baller is that you hope for that one ground ball is going to get you 2 outs, especially if you walk people. But as you mentioned, he doesn't do very often.
And that pitch is going to be taken. He's not getting those calls that maybe on another night he might, close calls.
Well, actually, Manny Gonzalez has what the rule book's supposed to,
yeah,
and what the league wants. I mean, he's not calling balls off the plate as of yet. Doing a nice job, even though it's very early.
2-0 delivery. That'll be fouled back and out of play. 2-1 strike count. Cook against the Orioles. All his appearances have been this season. 4th career outing. He struggled against the East for Bobby Valentine's team. Cook has gone just 1-5 with an ERA almost at 7 against teams in the American League East this year. See that ERA really up there with the runs in this game, putting it over 8. And the pitch will be taken down low. And Hardy gets ahead on the count, 3-1.
His last win was a couple of starts ago. His last start against the Orioles up at Fenway. That was against Tampa Bay, where, again, 6 innings, only 1 run, 5 hits.
3-1 strike count. McLouth not going. Hardy again will foul it back. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
But with this Oriole offense in this ballpark, it's kind of like pitching on the moon. There's no gravity. The way they're flying out of here. I mean, they go up and they don't come down. Well, they come down. They just come down if you're pitching not where you want them to.
3-2 strike count. McLouth running. Hardy takes it. Ball 4. He's walked 2 in a row. So runners on at first and second base. That's the 3rd walk surrendered in the ball game. We've gone just an inning plus. Take a look at our Hollywood Casino League leaderboard. Slots, tables, and dining, the ultimate triple play. Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Jim, just what we were just talking about. The Orioles have the largest differential of home runs compared to home and road of anybody in the league.
Well, they are. And the good news is, and this is all about Ryan Flaherty with that grand slam, is that while they don't hit as many home runs, their ERA comes down precipitously when they're on the road. So it all kinds of balances out. 11 games over 500 at home, 12 on the road after going 30-51.
So Aaron Cook, a very long, short night. He's going to last for an inning plus. Aceves will be coming out of the bullpen as the Orioles have a 6-1 lead. It's not been very pleasant. He made that first start back in May, came out because of a laceration on his knee on a play at the plate, and it hasn't gotten any better since. Shortest outing, an inning plus.
Yep, go out again, a couple of balls up, and that's all it takes. Got behind Ryan Flaherty, the grand slam. Chris Davis with 3 home runs last 2 games. So there you go. Look at that. Your closer is now pitching in the 2nd inning. Probably had the best, one of the prospects for their 5th starting job. Probably had the best spring of all of them, but because of Andrew Bailey hurting his thumb, they put him back into the bullpen, and he actually pitched very well. But lately, it's been a struggle. Been scored on 7 of the last 10 games, 19 earned runs in 16 in the 3rd innings. But don't think, because the Orioles know him, and they saw him last weekend. They know, they respect his stuff, because he can be about as good as anybody. But again, there have been some differences with his manager, and it's playing out in his earned run average.
And Chris Davis will stand in. Nobody out, 2 on. Davis delivered his 29th home run in the first inning, 2 RBIs, now has a 7-game hit streak. Aceves has not worked since his last outing against the Orioles on the 22nd, when he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning, having 1 strikeout in that ball game. And Davis will take the pitch away for a ball, and the count goes to 2-0.
Well, a lot of innings, Gary. Second in the American League with 78. I mean, that arm angle right there, way, way low, and there's the breaking ball.
Take a look at our Kia Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit Kia.com. This season against the Red Sox, Davis at the plate. Look at the numbers he's put up. Look at Reynolds, though. I mean, just astronomical numbers. Chen on the mound has been outstanding, doing a great job of getting it done. The Orioles, those are the players on the Orioles who are having really good seasons against the Red Sox. Chris Davis, 2-ball, 2-strike count. McLouth Hardy, the base runners, chance for 2. Iglesias 1 over to first base and will turn the double play. McLouth moves over to third base. Well, the O's are in the hunt for the postseason, and now's the time to buckle up and back the Birds. Place a deposit before Monday at midnight on the 13 full or partial season plan, including the convenient 13-game plan, and you'll be guaranteed an opportunity to buy 2012 American League Championship or World Series tickets before the general public. Don't forget, the deadline for the early access to ALCS World Series tickets is Monday midnight. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com/postseason.
So trying to add runs, and a good, nice little changeup gets the double play ball.
Jones to third and snagged. Siriaco's throw in time. And a really nice play by Pedro Siriaco. So the Orioles, a couple of leadoff walks, can't take advantage of it, but maintain a 6-1 lead. The nation's largest 4G network, AT&T, rethink possible. And by Chevy Cruze, offering the best highway mileage of any gas engine in America. Pleasant evening at the ballpark for family and friends. Orioles have a 6-1 lead. The Yankees have a 3-0 lead over Toronto. Swisher, a 2 RBI double in the first inning. Other run came on a ground ball out. And on the mound, Kuroda and Jenkins in the start for the Yankees against the Jays. One thing we can tell you is that if the Orioles and Yankees end up in a tie for first place in the division, the playoff game would be here at Camden Yards. Let's explain that in a minute. The strike is taken. The decision on home field for a division playoff game, one, it's head-to-head. Well, they split the series. The second is the best record in the division. In order for there to be a tie between the Yankees and the Orioles for the division lead, the Orioles will necessarily have to have the best record against the East compared to the Yankees. So if that were to happen, the Orioles would get a division playoff game at home. But there's so many other opportunities for that not to happen in terms of things going right or wrong for the Orioles, that this 6 games remaining starting tonight just mean everything.
I think they're all aware that they know, first of all, Tampa Bay, they've won 7 in a row. They saw their act last year where they went 19-7 as the Red Sox were going 7-20. So there's no give up in Joe Maddon's teams, and the Orioles are well aware of that. So what are you in charge of? Your own destiny.
Yep.
You play them, you try to win them, and then you see what happens with the other ball clubs. And it's not only them. I mean, obviously out west, Angels lost yesterday. Oakland, they know how well they've been playing.
Tigers back in the division lead in the Central. And that'll be a walk, and leadoff man on here in the 3rd inning. In our worth repeating part of our MLB notebook, take a look. I thought Joe Maddon summed it up pretty well. Yesterday they tried to get him to comment on postseason, this and that. He said, tomorrow's Friday. I want to go 1-0 on Friday. Keep the blinders on. That's just what you're saying, Jim.
Yeah.
Worry about what you're doing today, and the rest of it will be what it is.
Well, Buck Showalter, and we're looking at Buck right there. I mean, that's one of his mantras all year long. Be in the moment. You know, have a process, routine. If you're Dan Duquette, the head of baseball operations, and Joe Maddon, he knows his club is certainly aware of that because they've been to the postseason 3 out of the last 4 years. Yep. They know what to do. They're healthy. They know they can pitch. They have some hot hitters. Scott's back. Longoria, maybe he's not totally healthy, but back in the lineup. Yeah. Yep. Hit a big home run to win last night. B.J. Upton, one of the big enigmas in baseball, is having a red hot September. Got over 25, 26 home runs. So
Iglesias at the plate on the high fastball, can't catch up to it. Their rookie playing at short, getting his first chance to play here at Camden Yards. It's the 19th start that he's had at shortstop for Bobby Valentine's team, and another one of the young players they are looking at for next year, with Middlebrooks back probably to play third.
Well, a magician with a glove.
Boy, we saw that in Fenway.
Well, he made some plays, and being off early this week, I was watching them play the other night and against the Rays, and he made some fabulous plays.
He is like Manny Machado, one of those players when you're out on the field and you're just watching players do things, they just stand out. They can't help it.
Yeah, Vizquel comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of ability, but not a switch hitter. And
1-2 delivery to him will be popped up right field. Davis coming.
Yeah, he kind of took the circle route. Big swing.
One away, runner back to first base. College basketball returns to the DMV as Coach John Thompson. The third leads your Georgetown Hoyas against some of the nation's best at the Verizon Center. Be a part of the tradition that is Georgetown basketball by securing your tickets today. For more information, visit guhoyas.com. 202-687-4692 is the number to call. Georgetown basketball. Scott Posednik.
Well, he loves the ball away, and in Fenway, that's all where they pitched him. And he just pinged it into left field.
Posednik, a single, scored, going to second on the error. He now has a 6-game hit streak on the perfect bunt between the pitcher and first base. Flaherty trying to come in to play it, threw it away. The error committed resulted in the run, but Flaherty certainly made up for that in this game of redeeming features. That'll be foul back as Flaherty got the grand slam the next half inning. Ryan's dad was trying to make it down here. He had a good series in Boston when he played. Family got to come down from Portland, Maine to see him play, and they're trying to get down here for the weekend. Hope they made it. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Posednik with a runner at first base. Nava with a short lead. And again going after that pitch up and away.
Yeah, he gets fooled on the changeup. Kind of a zoom changeup, but a good arm action. Can't quite time it. But again, a lot of fastballs that hit up at Fenway. They play him very shallow in left, as they should. Same in center field, give him a little bit more room to right.
Our Nissan Pitch Track, Nissan's bottom line event going on now. Hurry in today, big savings. Choose Nissan.com is the place to go. Event ends October 1st. Hardy, 1, Flaherty, 2. No runs innings, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Double play, nicely turned, and another fine play by the best fielding shortstop in the league. The Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lights. Jim Thome will stand in for the Orioles. Thome had a single and scored as he put one down the left field line where nobody ever plays him. And he'll take this one to right center field. That's going to go into the gap. It'll be cut off by Podsednik. He's going to go for two, and he'll go in standing up. Jim Thome, a double and a single.
Yeah, he came around first base saying, well, wait a minute, let me see how Podsednik plays it in the minute, because he was really playing him pretty much straight away, so he's got to go a long way for this. You can see maybe a step to pull, and that ball hooking like a drive off your driver, and he couldn't come up with it. Jim rolls into second. As he ever gallops, I think, is probably a better way to put it.
Canters.
Maybe at 42 he's not galloping anymore.
Here's Mark Reynolds. And a balk.
Well,
the frustration, you got to believe.
Well, Seves was already, I mean, he was suspended earlier in early August for, again, conduct detrimental, a 3-day suspension. Apparently berated Valentine, had an argument with Pedroia, didn't pause right there. So this guy has been a little bit out of control over the last month or so.
That's going to go to third. Runner stays. Ciriaco looks him back and will record the out on Reynolds. So Mark retired. Thome stays at third base. Reynolds unable to get him in. Now there's one away.
Apparently it all started when Bobby Valentine brought in Andrew Bailey, who they had signed as their closer. And Alfredo took exception to that. Tore off his uniform, stormed the clubhouse, knocked his hand away when they had a conversation. So it's been a rough ride. And he's not pitching well.
That doesn't help.
No.
Infield's going to be drawn in with Thome at third base. Manny Machado a single and a run scored in the first inning.
Yeah, they play back at third because, again, if you're Ciriaco, you know.
Don't know what that was. Third base umpire now. Aceves is just all over the place out there. And you can see the third base umpire, Jerry Davis, trying to tell him, what are you doing? I mean, he was.
Well, but if you balked, it's a balk.
Yeah. But he's like stepping on, stepping off, and coming to the set position when he's not on the rubber. Down the first base side, and not quite. Tough play. Got behind the tarp over there on Loney. Yeah,
Loney gets tarped. Otherwise, he probably catches that ball.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, about $800 million.
Yeah. You do have to pay it back at some point, but nevertheless. You watch here as Davis, the umpire at third base,
Well, that's not a balk.
No.
I mean, that's all right. I mean, if you step off.
He's talking about getting his hands together, separating them. He's doing it both on the rubber and off the rubber. And I think Davis just started like, what are you doing? And a swing and a miss. Good pitch away, and he gets Machado.
Well, he has great stuff. I mean, again, a stuff guy, command guy. Early in the year, he was throwing 96. We never saw that, but we saw 93 with a cutter, a slider, a curveball, a changeup. He's got them all.
That'll bring up Ryan Flaherty. Grand slam home run, getting his first in the majors in the first inning. Now he's got a runner at third base, 2 down. The Orioles, though, leadoff double by Thome, have not been able to get him home. Flaherty will try and do it with 2 away and strike 1.
Well, if they don't want to Seves back, in spite of the personality conflict, there are going to be people waiting in line for this stuff.
Orioles are.
And this guy can pitch.
Pitch will be taken outside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Buck Showalter said in Boston, I'll take him as a starter.
Well, that's what he was going to be. And as I mentioned, he had the best spring of all the guys. They settled with Daniel Bard, who was one of their elite setup guys last year.
Seves trying to prevent that run from scoring. Thome the runner at third base. Ryan Flaherty, 2-ball, 1-strike count. Flaherty will put that one in the air to center field. But Sudnick meanders in and will put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. They've completed 3 here at Camden Yards, and the Orioles lead the Red Sox 6-1. They're presented by Southwest Airlines is on sale. Features your favorite birds posing with their favorite dogs and cats. Benefits Orioles Reach and Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. Don't miss your chance now to meet the players and get your calendar autographed at Barks on Stockholm Street near the ballpark. This is tomorrow from noon until 2. Tomorrow noon till 2. Jake Arrieta's going to be there. Brian Mattis, Nate McLouth, Mr. Tillman, who's on the mound here tonight, and Wei-Yin Chen will all be there, part of the Buckle Up Rally, and get your pet calendar autograph. Chris Tillman will be among the Orioles on hand tomorrow.
Well, there you go. A lot of fastballs. Again, the early lead after the unearned run and back in the first.
Pedro Sariaco will lead it off. Came up from Pawtucket, where he had played 2/3 of the season, getting his 32nd start at third base in the ball game. After the Youkilis deal, all the machinations began to try and figure out who's going to be where for next year.
Yeah, well, Will Middlebrooks is going to be at third. I mean, marvelous year till the broken hand. And Sariaco, a speedster in the minors, a 273 hitter with a high of 40 steals, so he brings a lot of energy to this lineup.
Popped up in the air. Reynolds coming over. May have room, reaching, and gets it.
Yep. We're going to paint his glove gold. That's how well he's played over at first.
And our Mercedes Inside the Numbers brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at mbusa.com since August 28th.
Well, he's only 24. He was 3-5 last year. Had a great spring. Went down. It took him about 3 months to work on the windup, and boy, I can still hear the glove popping up in Seattle when he came up and made that first major league start back in early July. And other than the nerve injury to his elbow, has been pretty good just about every time out.
Trying to get a win against Boston. Pedroia stands in. He pitched against the Red Sox on August 16. 3 runs, 6 hits, 4 2/3 innings. Non-decision in that ball game. And then against Boston in that last outing, just a run on 6 hits and 6 innings. Non-decision, though, did match a career high in starts, and now with his 14th has a new career high with the Orioles.
He actually threw the ball well in that early start that you mentioned back on the 16th, but Buchholz gave up 3 runs early and then ended up going late into the ball game. And Chris, I told him, I said, were you as frustrated as I was? Because you had great stuff, and trying to use all his pitches. And I said, you're a fastball guy with those other pitches, and his stuff is so much better than last year.
Completely different guy.
Yep.
And that is fouled off. The 0-2 count continues. I mean, the batting average against Tillman is just .219. That doesn't show up anywhere among the leaders because he hasn't had aren't enough innings pitched to do that. But that's a great number. 236 lefties and 190 right-handed.
It started with Brady Anderson out in California with the off-season program, just to get yourself in as good a shape as you can. And again, he got strong and worked on his mechanics, went through the minor leagues. I know it was frustrating. All you got to do is talk to him about having a good spring. They just did not choose him, and he certainly didn't throw up the surrender flag. Went down, and took him a while, though.
Yeah, it did. Half a year.
Yeah, I mean, to really get to the point where his velocity, and to me the most interesting thing, Gary, was when about a year ago up in Yankee Stadium, Joe Girardi, who managed the Yankees, came up to me. He said, what's going on with him? They said he threw better in Double-A.
Yeah. Pedroia will take that one down low, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And then after that game in July against the Mariners, went down to Anaheim. They sent him back because of the All-Star break. He's going to go back to the minors and pitch regularly. I said to Matt Wieters, I said, where did that come from? He said, well, that's the way he used to throw in Double-A.
There you go. 2-2 delivery on the way. Well, there's no question his coming over the top and pitching downhill makes an enormous difference.
Well, it's that front shoulder. Yeah, he told me when he was working out with Brady in California, went over a couple of days, he said, told me there's a pretty girl over my left shoulder. I said, move her behind the hitter.
Yeah.
Grab her. Reach out and extend. He's 6'5", big guy, strong guy.
3-2 delivery, and Pedroia will take it outside and will draw the 1-out walk.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that pitch with a 6-1 lead. As good as Dustin Pedroia is, you don't need to fool him. Let him hit a single to right, but at least make him put the ball in play. It's a free pass, and they'll take it.
That'll bring up Cody Ross. The Orioles lead it 6-1, 6-6-1 for the Orioles, 1-1-1 for the Red Sox. The Orioles batting around first inning. Davis, a 2 RBI homer, the grand slam by Flaherty, accounting for all of the runs in the first inning. Pedroia, sac fly RBI for Boston's runs. Cody Ross. Ross grounded out his first time up, hitting .238 against the Orioles on the season. Ross getting the start in right field. Cody Ross coming off a homestand where he went 4-for-11. Pitch will be taken outside, and Teagarden will go out. The Red Sox stay on the road now. They play 3 games here, and then they'll play 3 games against the Yankees. So they are right in the middle of important ball games that will decide who goes to the postseason and where and how they get there in the American League. 3 here, 3 in New York. They've already finished with a 34-47 record at Fenway Park this season. Just an amazing turnaround for the numbers they've had there over the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's their worst record since 1965, my rookie year. But now all of a sudden 2-0, you get in a home run guy in a home run count.
2-0 delivery on the way to him, and he tried.
Yep.
It'll go to center field. Jones. Pedroia is tagging at first, but he'll stay there as Jones gets it in. So Ross retired on the fly ball out, 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it's a big deal when you get early runs. Not that Tillman is easy to run on, but Pedroia stole his 100th lifetime base the other night. Number 17 and 18 out of 23.
It was a year ago today that all of baseball watched the last day of the regular season, and all those great games were played and the great finishes. It's going to be much the same in the American League for this weekend. Now the games go on. The Orioles, of course, have 3 in Tampa Bay. Runner goes. Teagarden's throw. A good one. Ooh. Boy, he almost got him. Hardy with a tag. Pedroia was trying to reach around, and it cost him a split second. And while he was trying to reach for the bag, Hardy almost got the tag on him.
Yeah, Taylor Teagarden, I mean, he takes his time a little bit because he wants to make a good throw, and it is. But watch the swipe tag. And he missed a throw, beat him.
Yep.
He short-armed it, pardon the expression.
Did. So
wow.
Pedroia gets the stolen base. What a throw by Teagarden. Pitch is outside. James Loney, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Teagarden 2 out of 8 now. Base stealers. Obviously doesn't get many chances because he's not in there.
Can we give him like a half a stolen?
Yeah.
On that, because that was a perfect throw.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Loney 2 down to 3rd and foul. So for Dustin Pedroia on the year, that'll be stolen base number 19, caught only 5 times.
And he looked at me today. I said, gee, 100 stolen bases. You have your second son. How's the wife doing? He said, only 100 steals. They put it up on the board in Fenway. He said, you would think I'd have more after 6 years.
Well, a lot of times he gets to second all in his lonesome.
Well, and he hits in front of Ortiz and pretty good hitters.
Gets home runs.
Well,
1-2 delivery inside.
I told him that's what you get for hitting all those home runs. You don't steal, you trot.
Cut down on your power swing and you'll be all right. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Tillman still has given up only 1 hit. He walked Pedroia. The hit was the first batter of the ball game for Zednik.
Well, 148 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. That's another reason he's pitched so well. That's a glowing number.
2-2 delivery in the air to left field. Named McLeod. He's got it. That'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Orioles leading it 6-1. In for the final Camden Yards series this year, and a lot to cheer about. First inning, 2 home runs. Davis, a 2-run shot. Flaherty, his first career grand slam, and the Orioles a 6-run first, have a 6-1 lead. The Orioles have now hit 42 home runs in the month of September, more than any other team in the American League. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Aceves on for Cook. Aaron Cook knocked out on 6 runs, 5 hits, and an inning plus. Surrendered both of those home runs. Aceves working to Teagarden, and a swing and a miss on the fastball, 0-2. Taylor Teagarden in the top of the order, McLouth and Hardy. The slider's going to miss outside, a ball and 2 strikes.
Hey, when you talk about Alfredo Aceves, he has such an easy windup, and then talk about a ball really coming out of somebody's hands. And there's the hook. I mean, it's about as good a stuff. And then again, 78 innings coming into tonight's appearance. Maybe you get a little bit tired. And then they go to somebody else. You have a meltdown, but the stuff can be overwhelming.
Well, Aceves gets his second K. Our Kia Pitch Tracks brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Nate McLouth has drawn a walk, singled, and he has scored a run. And he'll take the pitch away for a ball. McLouth against Aceves, 1 for 1. 1-0 delivery, and the slider again is going to miss up high, and the count will go to 2-0. Aceves working in a hurry, and will miss outside with it. So McLouth with that good eye, and gets ahead of the count here. 3 balls and no strikes. Trying to get him to chase one out of the zone, wouldn't do it. That one is in there. He was taking all the way. McLouth has picked up 21 walks to the 37 strikeouts since joining the Orioles. 3-0 delivery, 3-1 delivery rather, and that's going to be taken for a strike.
How about that? A 3-0 curveball, just in case he's swinging, and got it over. That's the
3-2 up the middle. Aceves will field that one, throw it over to first, and get the out. Clouth retired, and there are 2 down. Don't miss the final of the regular season at Oriole Park. The Birds hosting the Red Sox Sunday at 1:35. The first 20,000 fans 15 and over will receive a J.J. Hardy bobblehead presented by AT&T. This is the bobblehead voted on by fans at the beginning of the season, so make sure you add J.J. to your Birdland collection. Tickets are available, but going fast. Final game Sunday, 1:35. Hardy up, drew a walk, grounded out. 4-game hit streak for him. A piece of that, and it's an 0-2 count.
Yeah, he's not wasting a lot of time, is he?
He's hardly letting the hitter look. I mean, really quick pitching. Comes off the backstop, and the count will stay at 2 strikes. Well, that's what we said. When you get a team like this, it's not they're not going to compete, not going to play, but you get 6 runs in the first inning against them, and all of a sudden.
Well, he came in and got the big double play after the leadoff couple of walks in the second from Aaron Cook. And what is your job as a long man? Slam the door.
Give your team a chance to get back into the ball game. 1-2. Base hit. Thrown away. He'll stay at first. Backed up by Pedroia.
Yeah,
Hardy should get a single out of that because there was no way. Well, I say that. A perfect throw might have been close.
Yeah, but you can't ever anticipate that. I mean, he skids across the foul line. Watch him come get this ball. Perfect swing and bunt. Watch him just kind of skid. But he's smart, see. At least throws it where the second baseman Pedroia can back it up.
So Hardy is on, gets hit number 7 for the Orioles, and he's got a 5-game hit streak. Comes with 2 down. Orioles have had some unusual hits tonight. Tomey with that base hit that kept the inning going into left field where nobody was playing him. And now a little chopper by Hardy for an infield base hit. Now here's Davis, who delivered the home run in the first inning, number 29. And as was true of the Flaherty Grand Slam, there were no doubts about either home run. That one rocketed out into right center field. And the off-speed delivery will miss outside. And a 2-0 count. Chris Davis gets ahead here. He's 2 for 10 lifetime coming into the ball game off Aceves. He hit into that double play against him in the second inning, the first batter that Aceves faced in the ball game. Runner off first, 2-0, foul back.
Yeah, 95. And Chris is going just in case. And he airs it out but fouls it back.
It'll be a great weekend. Oriole fans and lots of other fans around baseball this weekend, and then the 3 games next week with everything in the American League up for grabs. That'll be a foul ball. Going to be a lot of fun. Scoreboard watching and watching the Orioles play as they stay focused on their games against the Red Sox in Tampa Bay. Buck Showalter's ball club now with 89 wins. Game behind the Yankees still. 2 teams that have played really good baseball of late. Swung on a miss. Aceves will get his 3rd strikeout. The Orioles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. The O's have the lead for their starter, Chris Tillman. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. More 4G LTE coverage than all other carriers combined. And by Chapin Davis Investments, celebrating 60 years of advising investors. Call Chapin Davis at 800-222-3246. One more legend to be unveiled tomorrow, Brooks Robinson. And you see Camden Style. That takes a lot of work. To do that, to get that lined up.
Boy, you got to hire a bus to get everybody to the ballpark on time.
Yeah, the dance coordinator.
Can't miss a letter.
Need a choreograph operator in order to make sure everything's in line. They were.
Well, you want to be why? Well, why? Oh, you get it.
I want to be the exclamation point at the end.
Well, is there any doubt about that with that shirt?
No, absolutely not.
They'll see that shirt in about an inning.
And the pitch is taken for a strike. It's a perfectly fine.
It is.
I don't know. What color is it?
No, that's the point.
Well, I know. And the pitch will be taken up high.
It goes with your eyes.
1-1. So you don't know what color my eyes are either. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but 1 ball, 1 strike count. Tillman's delivery, and that's going to be taken up high. So Chris Tillman will fall behind 2-1. Santalamacchia. Designated hitter, strikeout victim his first time up. Tillman 2 walks, 1 strikeout with a 6-1 lead. And a big cut taken by Santalamacchia.
Yeah, he's having one of those nights where he's effectively wild. You know, you'll see 93 every once in a while. That 90, maybe get a change up, occasional good curve ball, occasional bad change up or curve ball, and right there it just throws it by him.
Got him.
Being 6'5", and as you mentioned it earlier, when you can stay and your lines are direct, you can throw over your front side. So then 90 seems a little bit quicker than 90, and then he's up in the zone. Hard to get on top of that pitch, especially when you're a good low ball hitter like Jarrett is. And here's your strikeout to lead off the 5th.
Here's Lavarnway. Lavarnway grounded out his first time up. 1 down, nobody on, fouled away. Yankees continue to lead Toronto 3-0. They're in the 4th inning of that ball game being played in Toronto. Other games we made note of earlier, the Angels at Texas, the Rays playing at Chicago. Those are games that are just underway about 15 minutes ago. Angels have taken an early 1-0 lead in their ball game.
Yeah, Weaver, he did get hit hard early, but anytime you're going for number 20 and you're healthy, which he seems to be.
1-1 delivery. Tried to wait on that, pops it foul, and Lavarnway with a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, this is not the same kid that we saw last year. Now, maybe the league's adjusted. Lavarnway comes in, 132 at bats now, but he was big and strong coming off a year where he hit 30-plus home runs down at AAA. Had a better defensive year this year. But he does have, at least last year, had some bat speed. Good take there on the hook.
Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lavarnway hitting it just 167, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs on the year. Doing the catching, Ian Saltalamacchia sharing duties. Foul back, and the count will stay at 2-2. Ball game rocking along here with that big first inning. The Orioles 6 runs, 5 hits.
Well, the one thing that a big inning does, now it does make you relax a little bit, but again, you can get away from the process of pitching if you're young. And Tillman's only 24, but he's done a nice job of it.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. Lavarnway will chop it to third base. Machado, it's a fair ball right on the bag. 2 down. Well, we can honestly say down the stretch they come. Boy, we're getting close. A-Rod is back in the lineup tonight at third base. He's had a sore left foot doing some DHing, missed a couple games. He's back in tonight. Teixeira, the strained left calf, 7 at-bats, simulated game, second day that he's done that. May get back this weekend. John Axler, Milwaukee, last night blew a 1-run lead, 9th inning. That may be it from Milwaukee. That all but eliminates them in that loss. And the Rays, 8-game win streak. It's a season high, and right now a major league leading 8-game win streak has kept them right in the race. In fact, they've caught the Angels now, as both of those teams are 2 games out of the second wild card spot. Daniel Nava at the plate. Nava drew a walk his first time up. He's got a 5-game hit streak. He's hit the Orioles well. 481 against the Orioles coming into the ball game.
Yeah, I watched the series last weekend, and he hits the ball to left field. He reminds me, as a switch hitter, a little bit of Kenny Singleton, where he can work the count for a young hitter, but knock the bat out of his hand. Don't let him get into hitters' counts, because he becomes a much better hitter when that happens. And Tillman's able to do that, getting ahead 0-2. Now you can pitch on your terms.
0-2 delivery to him, and he got him. Tag is made. Third strikeout picked up by Hillman, 2 in the inning. Retires the side in order. That's the second out of 5. He set him down 1-2-3. This final homestand for the Orioles, and a great start in that first inning. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer. I'm the one with this color shirt on.
You're making me look sartorially inadequate.
No, absolutely not.
Well, you
the
are.
Ravens had a big
not
win.
Admit it.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the rain.
In the rain.
And it's not raining here.
Yes,
so we're good.
A very fine finish right down to the final play, and it's going to be like that in the American League for all these teams waiting to see.
What excitement! My wife likes baseball all of a sudden. When are the Orioles playing? What's the score? What's the count? I mean, this is what baseball, I was so fortunate because I played on all these great teams. every pitch, every inning, every game starting in April. And the Orioles, they didn't know it, but every game in April has been as important as in September. So what a marvelous season.
Nobody knew that, but it has come to the fore, obviously, here in this final month. And that'll be foul back going after the first pitch. Adam Jones. Jones 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has grounded out twice, but egging himself a very big month. With 6 home runs, 13 RBIs, and that big average.
Yeah, one of the bonuses for Jonesy, of course, over 30 home runs, but using the whole field.
And the runs scored. We often we don't. I think Oriole fans don't think of Adam Jones as a table setter, but all year long he has been among the top 10 in the American League in runs scored. That one to the gap in left center. It'll stay up. Nava coming over to get it. Jones is retired. One away here in the 5th inning. For Jim Thome joining that home run parade. 612 career home runs, second among active players as he drove it out. And a part of history in sports, of course. Wayne Gretzky and his brother Brent combined for 895 goals in the National Hockey League. Jim Thome and Nate McLeod have combined for 615 and 699 home runs combined. I put this up because Nate McLeod at the batting cage today wanted to know why Jim Thome was not holding up his end of the bargain and hitting leadoff home runs. Nate's got 9. Jim doesn't have that many. Foul back.
Well, unless you're going to count leading off an inning.
Gretzky's brother had 1 goal, and yeah, Nate's got about that many percentage-wise in home runs.
Boy, you're really.
Well, no, that's digging. Not me. This is Nate.
Yeah.
This was McLeod today. He was having a great time with Thome about that, saying, you know, he's got to hold up his end of the bargain here. And he was the one who said, you know how many combined home runs we have together? Chris Jim's got 612 of the 699.
Well, he had a tough day because when he was getting loose and stretching and rolling around the floor on the AstroTurf by the batting cage inside, and there's the high heater at 94. He goes down on strikes. I said, well, what does the elephant say when you get a stone caught in your toe? And he goes, what? As he's rolling over, I go, call the tow truck, because he looked like he needed help getting up. But the great thing, and we talked about, can you still play at 42? Even though he's had the neck injury and whatever, he is great to have on the ball club because of what he brings, not only on the field, but especially off the field.
The players love him. Yeah, I mean, it is a father figure. That ball hit in the air to left field. Mike Reynolds, that'll be on the warning track. It'll hit right at the base of the wall. Reynolds on his way to second base, and he will go in with a stand-up double, his first hit of the ball game. He has loved playing against the Red Sox this year, coming in with a .386 batting average against Boston.
Yeah, well, this is a curveball, but he early on in the year when he hit a couple of home runs up at Fenway, he goes, well, at least somebody challenges me. But there's a hanging hook, one of the few pitches that Aceves has actually got in the middle of the plate. Not a good idea against Mark Reynolds.
So a runner at second base with 2 down, and Manny Machado will get the RBI opportunity.
Yeah, you'd like to add some runs here, or 1.
In the air to center field, Podsednik coming, diving, can't get it. Manny Machado will head to second base. He's got a double and an RBI, and the Orioles lead it 7-1.
Yeah, Podsednik's still down because he had to land on the rib cage. One of the hardest things for an outfielder is to deal with the big swing and then the ball off the end of the bat. And that's exactly what Manny does. I mean, he gets a good read, knows it's going to be a run if he doesn't catch it. And it goes by the glove and then lands right on the rib cage. So Reynolds for the 7th run. Machado with another RBI.
So Manny Machado continues to get it done. Podsednik appears to be all right, standing back up for Manny Machado, RBI number 24. That's hit number 9, and the Orioles have a 7-1 lead. The Orioles have done well this year with runners in scoring position against the Red Sox coming in. The Orioles are hitting .312 against the Red Sox. And here's another chance. Flaherty, who had the grand slam that came in the first inning, his career first, and he walloped it and made up for the error committed in the top half of the first inning that allowed a run to score. He got it all back and then some. And Flaherty will take the slider inside. The Orioles again tonight posting big numbers with runners in scoring position. They are 4 for 9. And getting some with 2 away. That grand slam came with 2 down. And the pitch will be taken inside. 2 ball 1 strike count from Aceves. Red Sox team that has lost 7 of their last 10, including their last 2 ball games. That one towards right field. Misplayed. Ross is not going to get it. That's going to go off the fence. Scoring easily will be Manny Machado. It's another double and an RBI. 8-1 O's.
Back-to-back doubles. Flaherty again. Ryan gets a ball down. I'm surprised that Aceves throws him a fastball. He's playing shallow. And again, if you don't take the perfect route, I mean, that means straight back. You're not going to catch it. There's your 8th run.
Boy, what a night for Ryan Flaherty. 5 RBIs in the ball game for Flaherty. So he's got a new career high, and he's got 19 on the year. He came in with 14 RBIs in the 72 games he's played, and he's picked up 5 RBIs in 3 at-bats in this one.
And we've had some 5 RBI nights. Pedro Bieta, who used to be with the Orioles, came up through their minor league system. But again, remember Steve Pearce against the Pirates with 5 RBIs, now playing for the Yankees. Been a lot of big games from guys you didn't expect. That's what winning seasons are about.
Exactly. This is certainly one of them. Taylor Teagarden at the plate. Teagarden gets an RBI chance. He has grounded out and struck out in the ball game. Flaherty off second base. These runs coming with 2 away. There's that hard slider. Teagarden, of course, had the game winner in that 18-inning ball game in Seattle. 4 go-ahead or game-winning hits in the 7th inning or later this season for the backup catcher for the Orioles. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, fastball, and it goes to 1-2 on Teagarden.
I liked his comment. He said all I had to do is hit a fly ball, and he did right down the line for a double. Boy, was that time.
You think?
Well,
18th inning?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
that ball lined to center field. Pasednik again, not going to get to it. Flaherty going on contact. Here's the throw to the plate. Cut off. Another base hit and an RBI. Teagarden makes it 9-1.
Yeah, Taylor usually gets all the hits in the extra innings, as you mentioned. A little bit off the bat. He'll take it. 9th RBI of the season. But take a look. I mean, really outside corner. Just hit it back up the middle. Don't try to pull it. Pasednik, who can't throw, he'll come in and actually hit Pedroia about 50 feet away as your cutoff man.
That'll be it for Aceves. Bobby Valentine is on his way out. Will he give him the ball? Yes, he will.
And he gave him a little pat on the shoulder.
So Aceves out of the ball game. Not effective in this inning. Was effective through the first 2 full that he relieved in. time, not like this. But the worst September win percentage over a 2-season span all time in Red Sox history. 25-26 the worst. But third on that list right now, these Red Sox are just a 280 win percentage for the month.
Yep, and again, undermanned, all kinds of injuries. Nice to play these guys without Ellsbury. Last year in 2011, the Mets picked him up in the Rule 5 draft. So Pedro, who came through the Orioles organization, Aberdeen, Delmarva, Frederick, hard throwing guy. And we always thought that he would be in the big leagues. 60 games last year for the New York Mets, and then acquired by the Red Sox here in 2012.
So the Oriole fans long and loud here in this ball game. The Orioles 9 runs on 11 hits, putting up 2-out RBIs in this inning by Manny Machado, Ryan Flaherty, and Taylor Teagarden. Teagarden's on at first base. 2 down top of the order. Nate McLouth single, walked, and has grounded out. The Orioles now 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position in this ball game. Viedo, the 1-0 pitch, and McLouth will take it outside for a ball. Viedo pitched for Pawtucket not only during the regular season but stayed with their AAA team for the playoffs. Couple of runs, struck out 9 batters, 8 innings, 7 games with AAA. 2-0 pitch is up high, and then when their season finished, joined the Red Sox.
Yeah, Kelly Shopich went over to the Mets, and he was part of that transaction, and then sent right down to AAA affiliate. Started the year with the Mets this year.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Viedo's not appeared at the major league level since August 26 against Kansas City. Worked a couple of innings, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits in that ball game. 3-1 delivery, chop foul, and McLouth a 3 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, he was trying to make it 11-1.
Yeah.
Fireworks have started earlier for the Orioles tonight.
Big fireworks display coming up after the ball game. We're talking about Nate's leadoff homers. He had his second leadoff homer of the season Thursday. 9 leadoff homers in his career. Runner going with the 3-2, 2 down, fouled away.
Well, he fits really comfortably into that leadoff spot ever since Nick Markakis, who had assumed that role right after the All-Star break, coming back. I mean, 335 high on base percentage. So Nick usually a number 2, 3 hitter. Nice to know McLouth doesn't mind leading off. Some guys can't handle that.
Runner going again. He'll pop this one up to short. Iglesias back, and he's got it for the out. But the Orioles do damage here in the 5th inning. They will add 3 runs, doing it on 4 hits, all coming with 2 down. 9-1. Tomorrow, Moro's action game 2. Steve Johnson takes the mound against Felix Dubron. Our coverage on Masson HD begins at 6:30. O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson.
There you go, Felix Dubron. I'll tell you what, I watched him the other day. The Orioles know in the shadows, throwing 94, big hook, curveball against Stevie Wonder Johnson. Davey Johnson.
Yahoo.
What a story he's been.
Look at this. Buckle up.
There
It's
you go.
Buckle up t-shirt night here at the ballpark. I like it.
I'm giving him an A.
It's a good one. Did a good job at arts and crafts today, kids. 6-11-1, 9-11-1 for the Orioles. The Red Sox 1-1-1. Chris Tillman is pitching a one-hitter. A single in the first inning by the first batter. Sednick.
Yeah, got it out of the way with a push, or actually a pull bunt. Bunted it right by him.
Pitch will be taken for a strike. Jose Iglesias up. He flied out his first time up.
So the big question, 266 hitter with 23 RBIs, 1 home run at AAA. Winter ball or the weight room? I think most people are voting for the weight room.
Why not both?
Well, because you might not be able to do that. Maybe get them on some kind of program. Well, it makes perfect sense to me. I mean, why couldn't you go to winter ball or someplace and actually?
They probably have weights there.
You would think.
Just a guess. Foul back.
So let me rephrase that.
No.
It's either winter ball or let's monitor his weight training program.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of like with Manny Machado when he walked up to the cage last year after the minor league season was over. He was certainly a lot bigger than Jose. Jim Presley, the hitting instructor, said, you spending time in the weight room? He goes, no. He said, well, you better.
That's a telltale sign. Yeah.
So I see him this spring. I said, you've gotten a little bit bigger. And he's going to get bigger and stronger. And I don't know if he can get much smarter. Seems like he's figured this game out pretty well.
Instincts
are for the
pretty
moment.
Good.
Yeah, very good.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery, and a great changeup.
There you go, Stu Miller. One of the great changeup artists of all time. When I came to the big leagues, he could just pull the shade down. That's the way. You feel like you go over the window. Of course, most people don't even know what a Venetian blind is nowadays, but you pull it down, and that's what the good changeup is. Remember
Turn on the 8-track, pull down a Venetian blind.
That's right. Yep. And I'll tape you on my VCR. And then, of course, your cell phone is the size of
cell phone.
No, your cell sign. You're not your cell. It's
that giant thing.
That giant thing. Yes,
it's that 4-pound.
If you ever have trouble staying afloat, you just float on it. That's how big the cell phones were.
Or the one you put in your car and you add out another tire. Here's Scott Podsednik. Podsednik will take the pitch inside. 1 down. Podsednik, the leadoff batter, with a lone hit. That bunt single that came in the first inning. As the Orioles with the big start in the first and have followed it up with 3 more sets, and Tillman's done the rest. Manny Machado's there, and he's got it, and there are 2 away. Our PNC minor league report brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. For Jonathan so far, well, his career in baseball certainly not hurt this year. Double-A Bowie, putting up the home runs and RBIs. OPS very good. Some speed, only 20 years old, and another one of the bright lights for the Orioles.
Yeah, a guy that played the middle infield position along with Manny Machado.
Jonathan Scope.
Again, young for Double-A. Yep. That's, I think, the thing you have to take out of that. And Siriaco's going, I'm going to swing at a ball about 6 inches inside just in case I can maybe double down the line.
He has a sacrifice and has popped out. Base is empty, 2 down, 7 in a row retired after the walk in the 4th inning to Pedroia. That'll go in the air to center. Jones coming over. He's there. And Chris Tillman's on a roll. Retires the side in order. 3rd time he's done that tonight. The Orioles have given him a big 9-1 lead.
Home runs on Wednesday. Orioles with Chris Davis. Now 3 home runs last 2 games. 6-run inning, and the coup de grace, the grand slam home run by Ryan Flaherty, who likes it about as well as anybody. Chris Tillman, who's starting tonight. And then right here, soft single. Posedny can't get it. Back-to-back doubles. And again, another double by Flaherty as the Orioles will come up with a 3-spot in the 5th inning.
So the Orioles on top with Jim Thome, 2 for 3 the run. Chris Tillman, a great start. Aaron Cook only worked an inning plus and could not get the Orioles out as they battered around in the 1st inning. Then he walked the first 2 in the 2nd, and that was it for the Red Sox starter. Here's J.J. Hardy, a single, a walk, grounded out. 5-game hit streak for Hardy. That hangnail problem he had, hopefully gone. He said today feels all right. He was throwing with doing a 3-finger throw over to first base, trying to get possession of the ball and not have that nail biting on him every time, but it's better. This one will go to short.
Look at this.
At least let him get going there. One away. Hardy never got out of the box and the ball was there. Fans sign up now for the 3rd annual Casey Cares Foundation 5K run walk on Sunday, October 7th. Baltimore Orioles' Nick Markakis will be there. Go to caseycares.org for details.
That was unbelievable what he just did at shortstop.
He'll learn not to do that, right?
No, he won't need to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't need to do that. I mean, he threw the ball as though the runner was going to be 1/2 step off the bag. That one put up in the air to left. Chris Davis is retired. And there are 2 away. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report returns Monday, 5 to 6:30. Tom Davis, Mel Anton, and Dave Johnson, Phil Wood. All the Orioles news in the weekend series and a look ahead to the Tampa Bay ending series for the season. That's Monday 5 on Masson. Pennant. I love that.
Yep.
You're not locked in when you're part of that kind of a race. As the Orioles, a lot of fan signs around here tonight. Big crowds, sold out for tomorrow. Brooks Robinson ceremonies, 5:15. Gates will open at 5. The fans took him in. The ceremony for Brooks, the last of the 6 legends to be honored, will start at 5:15, and then pregame ceremonies on the field after that. Here is Adam Jones, and the pitch will be taken outside. Jones 0 for 3. Couple of ground ball outs and a fly ball out. One ball, 1 strike count. Vieto's delivery to him. There's that slider.
Yeah, we haven't seen that, and out of nowhere. But again, a big guy with a power arm. That was the scouting report on him coming up through the minor leagues. And that's what the Mets saw in him. Again, Rule 5 guy, like we talked about Ryan Flaherty as a pitcher, but he pitches in 60 games last year.
Trying to get him to go again.
Yeah, a little Pedro Strop finish, almost a 180.
Adam, with the home runs he's picked up, has moved into 8th in the American League in homers, 4th in runs, 5th in hits, and 4th in extra base hits for the O's among the top 10. There's a heater upstairs to get him. So Vieto will pick up the strikeout. Orioles retired in order. 6 complete here at Camden Yards. The Orioles lead at 9-1. Stadium. Visit Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast at number1beach.com. 88 degrees expected over the next few days for highs. Beautiful beach weather in Sarasota in the mid-70s during the evenings here in Baltimore. Cloudy skies, but a gorgeous night for the ball game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little, for Brooksy's ceremony tomorrow, a little cooler. I think high of 73 versus close to 80 today. So there you go. That's pitching. And again, only the single, the leadoff bunt hit by Scott Posednik. And then they get him 6 runs in the bottom of the inning.
Looking for that first win against the Red Sox, and here at Camden Yards, he is 3-1 this year. Lifetime 7-7 here in his home ballpark. And he goes to work against Pedroia, takes the pitch down low. Pedroia, the RBI, sac fly, and his walk, hitting .281 against the Orioles on the year. He's faced Tillman more than any other Red Sox in this lineup, 4 for 11, and a strike taken. Kobe Rasmus has homered for Toronto. Yankees, however, still have a 3-1 lead in that ball game. They are midway through the game.
Yeah, just get it close enough for Encarnacion.
Hit a 3-run homer.
Yep.
And on the outside corner for a strike.
Boy, are we good at math. I'm right with
you. Only early at night.
Yeah.
We've almost passed that point. Stepping out. Didn't think that one was in there. Randy Wolf lost for the season to the Orioles with that elbow problem. Steve Johnson is going to pitch tomorrow, sitting next to him. That'll go to right field. Pedroia retired, one away, 7th inning. Join the Orioles players and the Buckle Up Street team as they travel throughout Baltimore and surrounding areas for the rest of the month for the Buckle Up rallies, game ticket giveaways, Buckle Up themed gear, and other great promotional items. Tomorrow is the next rally. That'll be noon to 1. It'll be at Stuggy's, 809 South Broadway in Baltimore. You can get the current list of dates and rallies at Orioles.com/buckle-up. Stuggy's tomorrow, noon to 1.
It's got to be Fells Point, I would imagine. Broadway, not too far from the neighborhood. Our neighborhood.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever been by Stuggy's. I haven't. But
I
kind of know where it is.
You can't go by. You have to go in.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Tillman, 1 away, nobody on. Ross has grounded out and flied out. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him, and that's a strike. Strike zone getting a little larger here, and Ross backs away.
That's a good point, because that's probably the only pitch all night long that Manny Gonzalez has called maybe a smidgen off the plate. It's been a pretty fair strike zone.
1-2 delivery, and a grounder right back to the mound. Easy hop, Tillman. And they're 2 away. We're in the 7th inning. Our Rose Extra postgame tune-ins brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, Jim and Rick will be standing by to look back. The ball game stays the way it is, and now the Red Sox got to it early. The Orioles, rather. We'll have Buck in the press conference, player interviews, and more coming up after the ball game. Tillman throwing those first pitch strikes needed, 15 out of 22 so far in the ball game.
And then Taylor Teagarden has made him use all his pitches: changeups, hooks, fastballs.
Pitch away. Loney up. He has popped out, flied out. Tillman is one of those who needs the first pitch strike if he gets it. After that, hitters 156. If he doesn't, 299. And that strikes on the outside corner. A little more leverage in a ball game where you're leading 9-1, I guess.
Well, the scoreboard will encourage home plate umpires to maybe get that right arm up
in the dirt. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
The other part of the encouragement is the ball. Does it arrive close to where the target is?
The whole concept of framing.
Right.
Not in gangster language.
No.
But in catcher language.
Bob Boone language.
Yes. 2 undelivered. And that's fouled out.
Well, when I first started, Cal Ripken Sr. was my first manager, and Cal would warm you up and every throw would be chest high. He would use a glove, not with a hinge, because he didn't want catchers to backhand balls and all that. And then George Babber, my minor league pitching coach, he said good catchers let the ball come right off the edge of the glove. Oh, there's another.
This
nice
is
hit.
Hardy, who's going to make the easy play at second and get the out. Another 1-2-3 inning, and Tillman protects the lead. 7th inning stretch time, brought to you by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink. Sponsor. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, welcome back here at Camden Yards, where the Orioles got on the board with 6 in the first inning and haven't looked back. And Jim, when you're playing in your final 6 games, trying to get to the postseason, nice to have a game like this to start the weekend.
Well, I think it's kind of easy in the 7th inning to say it's a laugher. But when you're pitching, Tillman averages, I think, 5.92 runs. So they get him 6 early. But then again, if you're young and you maybe get away from one of the reasons he's been so good, which is pitch per pitch, there's a tendency to do it. So it's nice when 16 consecutive extra inning wins, all the 1-run games, 52 and 22, 1-run and 2-run ball games. It's nice to have what you would kind of call a laugher now. And I mean now because we're in the 7th inning.
Exactly. Yep. And that pitch will be taken by Jim Thome for a ball. Thome, couple of singles and a strikeout in the game. And Jim will take that one away. Viedo stays on out of the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Yeah, 13-man bullpen for Bobby Valentine. So
Thome hits that one to the gap in right center field, boys. He got the swing back. But Sednick will haul it in and make sure he doesn't get a double out of it. It'll be a single. Jim Thome's got a 3-hit ball game. Starting out the bottom of the 7th inning. Bring your big league dreams to life at 2013 Orioles Dream Camp, January 27th through February 3 in Sarasota. It's 30th anniversary, 83 World Championship team. You get to play alongside former O's like Rick Dempsey, Al Bunbury, Mike Boddicker, and more. Get the full Major League treatment. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/Dreamweek. Here's Mike Reynolds. Runner on at first base. The Orioles now have 12 hits in the ball game. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Reynolds has a double, a walk. He has scored twice, and he has grounded out. Mark Reynolds having a great September. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Ground ball towards second base. Iglesias 1, little flick for 2. 2 down.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. When I first came up, my shortstop Hall of Famer Louis Apple, Louis go in the hole, catch the ball, look at the league president's name, and then gun you out by a step. We were talking, I guess, with Vizquel. It seems like what Mike Bordick said, about a half a step every time, just had it perfectly timed. So you're right about it. It's lazy as he'll learn that maybe you don't have to hurry so much. But then again, another side of the coin, if you get rid of it quickly, if the throw's a little bit off, it gives the first baseman a little bit more time to get on the bag.
Little dance for him.
Exactly. But he's gifted defensively, no doubt about that.
There's Manny Machado. Machado will foul that one back. Manny's delivered a double, a single, and has struck out. He too has scored 2 runs in the ball game for Manny Machado, coming off his second 2-homer game on Thursday against Toronto. Had one against Kansas City as well. 0-2 the count with 2 down. And he got him. So Yeto will pick up the strikeout. That's his second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base. 7 complete. Orioles lead. Game winner and $500 for being selected, $100 for each strikeout recorded by the Orioles. So far there have been 4. Randy, $900 so far. For all the latest information on new games, current promotions, and second chance contests, visit mdlottery.com today. Well, the Orioles leading it here in a ball game, flying along. Right back here tomorrow night. It'll be Steve Johnson 4-0, Felix Dubras 11-9, 7:05 first pitch, 6:30 O's extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game, 5:15 for the Brooks Robinson ceremony, the unveiling of the final statue in Legends Park, and the gates open at 5 o'clock. In the air to left field, McLouth going back. Saltalamacchia is retired. 1 away in the 8th inning. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Chris Tillman right now working on a 1-hitter. Jim Thome, a 3-hit ball game with a run scored. And Ryan Flaherty, grand slam home run, his major league first, and he's had a 5 RBI game. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. LaVarn Way will take the pitch for a strike. LaVarn Way has grounded out the third twice in the ball game.
Yeah, and it appears that Chris Tillman better now than he was early with his command. I mean, throwing the ball downhill, still 92, 93.
He is up to 95 pitches thrown.
Yeah, the most he threw was that first game we saw into the 9th inning in Seattle, still throwing 95, 96. And then since then, the most, about 116, a couple of starts later. But I would imagine with a rested bullpen, there's no reason for him to pitch 9 innings as Troy Patton's getting up. Again, that nerve irritation cost him a couple of weeks. You want to make sure he's healthy, because he could be the guy that starts the first playoff game for him. If needed.
This is going to be to right field when it comes down. 13 in a row have been retired by Tillman. Place your deposit now in 13 Oriole Park 5-bagger suite packages and experience Camden Yards in a new way. One low price. Fully catered suite. 5 games in 13, including 2 against Yankees or Red Sox plus parking, VIP treatment, and more. Make your plans now for the 2013 season. Details 410-547-6173. Bard is up in the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Yeah, hard throwing right-hander trying to get back on track. And
Nava up, 2 down, nobody on. He's drawn a walk and struck out. The last base runner for the Red Sox was in the 4th inning on a walk to Pedroia. The only hit, the first batter. But Sednick, first inning, a bunt single.
And then Nava walked back in the 3rd inning.
That's it.
Yep.
1 strikeout. Nava puts it up in the air. Reservations were early tonight for both teams. That'll be hauled in. Another 1-2-3 inning. Wow. Tillman just rocking and rolling. Will get a nice hand. He's probably coming out, but what a job. 1 run on 1 hit. Orioles lead at 9-1. Here First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. To date, the Orioles have 471 walks, $23,550. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Gary Tharn, Jim Palmer back with you here at Camden Yards. Chris Tillman being congratulated. A 1-hit performance in this start tonight.
Yeah, well, one of our keys to the game for Asio was perfect combo. Perfect combo, they get you runs, you pitch well. That's exactly what happened tonight. He was magnificent, early lead. Daniel Bard, boy, what a season of difference, or a year a difference can make. Last year, 34 saves. And for any of you who have seen him pitch, he used to throw in the mid to upper 90s with a big swoop-in curveball. This year, went to spring training, decided to make him a starter. Struggled, sent to the minor leagues. Struggled, back here, has struggled with his command. Let's see what his stuff's like.
De Jesus has come on to play at second base. Pedroia getting a break here at the end of the ball game with the Orioles up by a score of 9-1. And here's Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty, the grand slam home run, RBI double, 2 for 3 in the ball game. 4 for 11 with 2 home runs against the Red Sox this year. And Bard's pitch, swinging at it. That is a strike. Angels have the early lead against Texas by a score of 3-1 in their ball game. Trout's homered. And that is homered. Trumbo's had an RBI double. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Angels chasing the wild card spot. Both they and Tampa Bay trail Oakland by 2 starting the day's play. Oakland will play at home later tonight.
And then the Orioles by 3.
Yep.
It appears that the Orioles are on their way to taking care of business and taking 1 game off the schedule. And that's, however, you can see right there, it just couldn't quite sync up the arm and well under that breaking ball.
Bard, 1 ball, 2 strike count on Flaherty. Tampa Bay and the White Sox are tied at 1, top of the 4th inning of their ball game. White Sox couple behind Detroit for the Central Division. That one down the line in left field. Nava's over in fair territory to make the catch. One away, bottom of the 8th inning. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. Orioles tonight, 33,518, 33,518, passing the 2 million mark. The attendance here at Camden Yards this season, 2,014,672. And a sellout crowd for tomorrow, and there'll be another big crowd Sunday to wrap up the year here, and then the Orioles go to Tampa Bay Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights to wrap up the regular season. And the big signs thanking Oriole fans. This is Oriole Fan Appreciation Weekend. There'll be giveaways tomorrow. There'll be giveaways Sunday, including the shirt off our back that the Orioles do every last game at home.
Yeah, it's been a terrific year on the field with the Orioles trying to win for the 90th time, and the statue. It's just amazing when you actually get, all the statue ceremonies. Mine was in July, but a chance to go there and watch how the fans appreciated the past, and the fact that Buck Showalter would show up at all the statues unveilings with a lot of the Orioles, because I think they understand the great tradition, and they're trying to make their own this year.
Yep, they're doing that. They are writing a story. Teagarden is on with a walk with one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4th walk the Orioles have picked up in the game. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. To make the playoffs one way or the other starting the day, magic number at 4. Orioles can cut that to 3 by winning this ball game. And we're talking about the Yankees, Angels, Tampa Bay, Oakland. The other teams involved in the race for either get to the top of the division or to the wild card. McLeod will take it outside for a ball.
Right, it seems like about 7-8 weeks ago when Buck Showalter said we're not playing for the wild card, we're playing for the division, and you kind of skeptically looked at the record, and then all of a sudden you're going, well, if you win out, you win 5 out of 6, you may not win your division, but you're going to put tremendous pressure on the Yankees to play well.
Yep. And they have been, to the Yankees' credit. They're grinding out the wins the same way the Orioles are. But you can only take care of your business first and hope. Nate McLeod, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Yankees and Orioles have won 7 of their last 10 for both teams. McLeod will take that one at the knees. That is a strike. Orioles continue to have the best road record in the American League with the 45 wins that they have picked up. The Orioles are going for their 45th win at home. They're 44-34 at the moment. 1 ball, 2 strike count McLeod. Bard on for Vieto. Did a good job 2 1/3 innings. He had a strikeout and had a couple of strikeouts and 1 hit. And he fouled away. For Aceves, he was charged with 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 2/3, and Cook 6 runs, 5 hits, and an inning plus. Chris Tillman over there, 1 unearned run. It came in the first inning on 1 hit, a bunt single in 8 innings. Patton will be coming on to finish it up in the 9th inning. 1-2 delivery on the way. McLeod pops it up, shallow left field. Nava gets there and puts it away. A no-hitter being pitched tonight. Homer Bailey, the Cincinnati Reds, 8 innings, has allowed just 1 walk and has struck out 9. The Reds leading the Pirates in the top of the 9th inning, 1-0.
Yeah, Homer Bailey, again, he's having a nice year, but not at home. So loves to pitch on the road. I was just watching a couple of innings. I mean, demonstrably better on the road, which a lot of pitchers have struggled. But again, in Cincinnati, hitter's ballpark, doesn't like to pitch there. Certainly likes to pitch apparently in Pittsburgh, though.
We'll keep an eye on that one. Cincinnati's looking for their 95th win. The Nationals lead all of baseball with 95 wins coming into today's play.
And they lost, or at least they were down at what, 9-1 to the Cardinals?
Cincinnati's got a chance to tie them with a victory and wins in the National League. Teams battling for home field advantage throughout the league playoffs. That's also going on in the American League, where Texas is 192 and the Yankees have 190. And the Orioles trying to get their 90th up. Swing and a miss. J.J. Hardy, 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, the Red Sox, they have to hope that Daniel Bard can somehow reclaim his arm angle. His arm is so much lower than it was last year. Velocity down, breaking ball flatter. I mean, he can't get people out, but this is a different guy. It's been a year-long struggle.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Runner at first base, Teagarden. And Hardy will foul it back into the screen and hold the count at 1-2. For the Orioles, a win would be their 11th against the Red Sox, only 5 losses. Season series already has been won by the Orioles against Boston, including that 7-2 mark at Fenway Park this year for the O's. 1-2 delivery, and that'll be outside 2-2.
Yeah, a little payback for those 15-3 and 16-2 seasons that the Orioles have had to endure.
Orioles winners of 6 of the last 7 series against the Red Sox. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Hardy waiting on it. He'll pop it up. Right center. Everybody coming. Posednik will get there first. And Hardy is out of there. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. The Orioles 3 outs away from their 90th win of the season. And brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup. So Chris Tillman looking for win number 9. Giving up just 1 unearned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts in the ball game. He'll wait for the final 3.
Yep, trying to beat, as we mentioned all night long, the Red Sox for the first time, so he gets a lot of run support. Didn't get it last Sunday, where he went 6 innings, only 1 run, threw the ball downhill, early lead. It looks like with Troy Patton coming on, that he might run his record to 9-2. So Troy back from the sprained ankle, said he felt healthy. And again, he's on one of those scoreless streaks over the last 20 games, over 15 1/3 innings. So good to see him back.
First pitch grounded to short. Hardy backing it up. High throw. The magic toe does it again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that Manny didn't want to catch that ball, but he does it. Machado runs right by it, and Hardy goes, I'll take it. hangnail or not. So a lot of topspin right here. No, he just kind of laid back. And then there you go. Mark Reynolds gets to be about 6'5" on the tiptoes.
Just call me Baryshnikov.
Yeah. Well, almost.
He has made more plays with that toe on the bag.
He's been marvelous over there.
Hardy with a great play on it. That's really a backup play, as Jim said. He thought, I think, Manny was going to get to that as well. Iglesias retired. Guillermo Quiroz coming to the plate. Get his first at bat. Bobby Valentine, I think some of the bench players on here. Only had one at bat this year. This will be his second. Davis coming. 2 down. I'll update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. The results so far: Ryan Flaherty on top. Time to text in your vote, A, B, or C. 31826. Results in the O's Extra post-game show. 2 down, 9th inning. The Orioles on their way to cutting the magic number to the postseason to 3. Patton trying to finish it off. Sirocco at the plate. He's had an 0 for 2 and a sacrifice. Strike 1.
Yeah, Troy Patton, he's got 3 pitches, and what he also has is he's very much like what we're going to see tomorrow night in Steve Johnson from the left side, is that he's got a deceptive windup. I'm not sure you really pick up the ball. I mean, he really hides the ball with his front shoulder. And then he's got the late movement, and then if you're hitting off him, he's got a curveball and a changeup to go with it.
Fans packed in here at Camden Yards on their feet.
Well, it's like the old days.
A year ago, the Orioles came back to beat the Red Sox and knock them out of the playoffs on this date. Now they're trying to take a 9-1 win from Boston. Check swing. Patton's got it. Ball game. Not over. Patton gave it that little toss and bounced it to first base, and the game will go on. Error on the throw.
Well, it's all about the process. Really makes a good pitch. Little changeup. He catches it easily. And again, look at that. The footwork. No Baryshnikov there. Again, you're supposed to take a crow hop. Get your hands together. Separates his hands. And then the changeup.
So he's got to find that third out. Somebody else. Ivan DeJesus, his first at bat. And he'll take the pitch for a strike. DeJesus on for Pedroia.
So I suppose if you're going to give him an extra out, you don't mind doing it quite as much when you're ahead by 8. But that was the 27th out. Game over.
Fouled off the mask of Teagarden and hard. 0-2 count.
It's a lot better to learn a lesson when you're ahead 9-1 than if that meant something down the road.
Win number 90. 90 is 1 out away. Who thought anyone would be saying that about the Orioles? Swing out and miss. It's 90. Patton comes on to finish it up, and the Orioles have a 9-1 win. The magic number is 3 with 5 left to go. A 6-run first inning put it away. Tillman wins it 9-2. The starter Aaron Cook, the loser 4-11. Final 9-1 Orioles.